Welcome. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are getting started in just a second on the live stream today. I just want to make sure the stream is good and that you can see and that you can hear because I believe it was the very last one. We had to abort it pretty quickly. It was not working properly. So please let me know me sounding. It looks like I hear an echo already. Let me see what I'm doing wrong here. Mhm. Mhm. There was an echo. Don't know if that was just the delay or if I had an extra window open. Let me see if I can close some windows. Hey, Miss Becky, sound is not so good. Okay, how is the sound? Is it was it the echo from a minute ago or is it a little straightened out now? Hi, Jenny. Hi, Becky. Hi, Lynn. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know what's going on. I have everything plugged in. Microphone plugged in. Microphone light is on. So welcome into the stream. Again, I ask that you let me know how it sounds, how everything is looking. But mostly it was the sound I think we had a problem with. It's okay. It just sounds like you're in a hallway. Well, that's not good. Let me close some windows. No, I don't have any windows. I just have, I mean, normally same old thing around me. Let me try closing this curtain. Again, welcome into the live stream. You are not alone. I'm just trying to set up sound. I think it's the internet.
Talking to me?
No, I'm online.
Have fun.
Thank you. You too. I don't know why they say it sounds like we're in an echo chamber, but let me fix it. Hopefully, sound is good though. Are you sure, Becky? All right. All right. So today is going to be just another chatty video. So if that's not your cup of tea, then I'm sorry, but that's what it's going to be today. I hope you stick around though. It's sometimes a pretty enlightening conversation, fun to just kind of talk about things. But we were also going to talk, your sound is just fine to me, says Miss Cheryl. Thank you, Miss Cheryl. But does anybody remember what we talked about last week where we had to abort it, but I did go ahead and pose a question. And I asked you to let me know where you think I got that quip or that quote. And that was going to be a contest. We were going to have some contests and giveaways today, and we are. And those of you who are here early know about it. Because even though no one really guessed where I got that quip from, I'm going to reveal it anyway, and then we're going to do some other type of questions, okay? Welcome in, everyone. Thank you all who are here. Sometimes this mic is so strong, you can hear every single nuance going on around me, all the little things going on my desk, and me gulping my water down. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Jenny. Cheryl. So I hope that's the case today. That it picks up everything because it really shouldn't even be right in front of you. It is right here. But yeah, that was the question posed. And, a lot of people in January, they talk about resolutions, rethinking, rebooting, reassessing their lives and moving forward what is going to happen, what they think is a good kind of mantra, kind of way of philosophizing. How can I say it? Philosophizing life. And that's kind of what happens at this time of the month. But that's kind of why I said that thing, because it really did kind of strike me in a very interesting way because of where I saw it and the juxtaposition of, well, more of the irony actually of where I saw the quip. But we did have a lot of good guesses. Still sounds like I'm in a hallway, Becky. Let me see how it's looking over here on YouTube. Because if it's blurry, I'll have to come back again. And I just will be so embarrassed. And I'm so sorry. But it's really not much I can do. I've called them and they've done only so much work. The only thing I can do is have a way to get a direct link here. Oh, okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, let me see how it's looking and see if I can't get the comments a little quicker because they seem to be a little delayed right here. Hi, Miss Deborah. No blurry, it's clear. Wonderful. Isn't that great? So how's everyone doing tonight? Everyone bundled up? We're going to have a cold night, even though I did just turn off the heater because under these lights, it really gets hot. And then I put on a long sleeve dress and it's just very, very hot. Yeah. So last week or 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago already? I think it was because we had the holiday. And I will read some of the answers that we got. And some of them were very enlightening because, well, they were interesting to me because I hadn't heard of some of the things that they talked about. Cold in Naperville with snow coming all week. Oh, yeah, for sure. It's so pretty in Naperville. You live in a beautiful side of Chicago area, right? Beautiful. Yes, my son was married there. Lovely place. So let me see if I can find that video and read you some of the comments that I received on it. Okay. I'm having a hard time though finding my channel. There it is. Okay. It seems like a very weird weekend for me because I started back at work on Friday, which was so insane because it was a work day just for teachers and they kind of threw everything at us, including a visit from a parent, which was so uncalled for, but whatever. And didn't get much work done. And then tomorrow is the day the children come back. So we were just alone. And then it just feels weird. It doesn't seem like a weekend at all to me for some reason. All right. So the title of the last video was called If You've Got It, Give It. And the desert, well, let me see. I think. Yeah, we started to show a little bit of jewelry, but we had a problem with the internet. So we did get some comments on that. But let me see the ones that are the oldest because those are probably where they are. And welcome in everyone who's here. I got something like Charles and Harriet Luckman's motto. Who is Charles and Harriet Luckman? I've never heard of that. Was it Marie McGillicuddy's TEDx talks about organ donation? So I went out and looked all these documentaries up or TED Talks or whatever, because I'd never heard of them. But I did get at least 2 people mention the Red Cross. Hi, Mia. How are you? Oh, well, have a wonderful night. Thanks for popping in. And Mr. Walrus at the Furafinity. I have no idea what that is. Does anybody know what that is? The Bible, if you've got it, give it Matthew. I'm not going to doubt that. It was also used as a support for the homeless. I think you got it from the Bible. I did not get it from the Bible. I wish I could say I had. I'll have to look that verse up too. So this was a contest because I wanted to give away some jewelry. And some jewelry jars, some craft jars, some curated jars that I make up. And I was hoping I would get a clear winner, but I didn't. I didn't think I really would, though, because it's a pretty obscure place that I saw it, and I will reveal that in just a minute. Red Cross Blood Drive, Jim McIlvey, McInvale. Jim McInvale is a businessman here in Houston. So I don't know, but he's a very generous, philanthropic gentleman, so I don't doubt that he may have said that as well, but that's not where I got it. So I'm going to give everybody a chance. Again, if you haven't guessed it on the comments, you can, in the comments from the last video, you can leave a comment right now in the live chat if you'd like to. And or tell me who Charles and Harriet Luckman's motto is, because I don't think I looked that one up. The founder of the Goodwill, that was a good one. And from the book, Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are by Dr. Seuss. I've never even heard of that book either. I mean, I've heard of Dr. Seuss and all his classics, of course, but I've never heard of that one, so I didn't get it from there either. So we're still going to do a contest here. Let me know in the chat if anyone in here would be interested in a craft bag of jewelry. And I was actually on Whatnot today doing a crafter hoarder sale, and it went quite well. It really did. I was surprised, but there's a lot of people that craft and that use materials for different things. I had people come in and buy yarn, that crochet, but not only crochet, but do other art with it. I had lots of rubber stamps. I had a lot of things like that. And then I had some jewelry like rhinestone jewelry and maybe broken necklaces. They may need a hook. They may be completely coming apart, and the beads are fabulous. So if you let me know in the chat if anyone is interested in that kind of a giveaway tonight, because that's what I'm thinking of doing as well. And it looks like we have just a few people in the chat right now. That's okay. I know I actually came on a little late too. Lost track of time again. Appreciate you waiting for me though. I really do. And let me see if I am not getting any other comments, because I don't see anyone but Becky and me. And Deborah and Mia left. Lynn was here too. Yes. Lynn, I got your message about the bracelet with the Our Father. So I do have, I'm gonna have to, I think I just put that in a jewelry case. I'm organizing my jewelry, so I will definitely hold that for you. Thank you for contacting me about that. Okay. Ozzy Osbourne, Vanessa. Did Ozzy Osbourne say? Yes, I think someone said that too in the comments. When did Ozzy say that? Was it in his reality show? I think that's the second person who says Ozzy Osbourne. You are in Jewelry Jam is interested in well, wonderful. So today's your chance to win some, because every so often, you know, I've been here about 10 years on YouTube, and the videos really started taking off when I started doing the jewelry and jarring. So to say that I could probably fill a room with jewelry is not an understatement. Truly. A lot of it is, of course, wearable, sellable jewelry, but much of it is amazing jewelry that just needs a little bit of, you know, ER, a little tender, loving care, a little TLC. And some people, as I said, make wonderful craft art. I keep showing this beautiful picture, but is that not amazing? I just can't even put it away. I'm going to have to frame it. One of my subscribers made this amazing cat on a frame with jewelry pieces, and then she took pictures of it, and I guess she has made wonderful cards, and she sent me a thank you card, and because I purchased some jewelry from her. But as I was saying, so I have really gotten inundated with a lot of jewelry. So every year or so, I do giveaways of this craft jewelry. I also sell it, so if you're ever interested, and I run out, because I can only have like a bucket full, like a hamper full of this crafted jewelry. So usually I will sell like a big box for $50. I will let you pay $50, and no, what do I do? I think I do just like the shipping fee, things like that. Or sometimes I'll do smaller ones, and of course I sell them for profit as well. But I come to the point where I just want to give it away, and that's what I'm doing tonight. So you don't have to pay anything for this box or bag, however just depending on how many winners we have and how we distribute it. I could put it probably in a big padded flat rate that cost me $8.80. I could have maybe a few of those, maybe 5 or 6. And then of course I'll do a nice regular jewelry jar also in a bag. However I can fit, how many I can fit to give away tonight for. Actually, it's probably going to just be trivia questions because nobody guessed what I was talking about, but you still have a way to talk about. Thank you so much, Jewelry Jam. And so that's how I do it, just to move it. And the reason I honestly, it's not all altruistic. It's because I also don't want to rebuy what I donated. I don't want to find it in a jewelry jar at Goodwill or wherever I can donate. And I love to donate to Goodwill. I love Goodwill. I know the work they do. I often defend it because in my line of work as a special education teacher, I've seen what they do firsthand for the challenged and employee challenged and all of that. So I'm the first one to go donate to Goodwill. But I don't want to donate my jewelry because I don't want to buy it back. So, hi, Miss Pamela. Oh, okay. No, we just started. I'm rambling on because we had a little issue trying to get the sound okay. We had issues last week. That's why we didn't even unjar the bag. I don't even know if I finished that bag. I did think I did a different bag last time because we were starting to unbag the bag. Then I was going to talk to you about what I saw and where I saw it. Okay, so this is where I saw it. Nobody has guessed it. And it is something I'm truly obsessed with right now. So as you know, I love fashion. I love eccentric, avant-garde, traditional, classic, everything. I just love everything about fashion. And one day I was looking through probably YouTube or a feed of some sort, maybe even Pinterest. And this picture popped up of this fashion icon, cultish following, so to speak. But this interesting woman was from, well, I suppose her time that she was of notoriety was in the 70s. So she's considered a fashion icon because she just kind of made up these crazy fashions. Starting with in a way, she was kind of a precursor to a Vivienne Westwood. She wasn't quite that polished as far as Vivienne Westwood did, fantastic seamstress and everything like that. This lady made up clothing. She would wear sweaters as skirts. And I don't know if you remember a thrift haul I did not too long ago, but I was kind of incorporating that as well with the shawls as sweaters and the pins and brooches as the clasp, or even just a giant safety pin as the clasp. And this was long before, the punks of the 70s. So no, not Diane von Furstenberg, not all that polished as far as that. But her image appeared in a feed of mine, and I had never heard of her. I looked her up. I thought it was fantastic, phenomenal image, and I just couldn't stop staring at her. She was a natural beauty, first of all, yet the woman was in her 50s at the time that I saw this photo, and just a natural born beauty. And so she would do things like that. She would also, this is going to give it away, so the contest is done, but she would also wear scarves because she had alopecia, which caused the hair loss. But she would not only wear scarves, she would take a shawl and throw it around her head. She would take a sweater and throw it around her head and do a turban thing. And she has been credited with, and people have paid homage to her, everyone from Todd Ullman to Versace. Several people have alluded to her and to her made-up fashion sense, just in her own wonderful head. And so the story is from when I found her, I was taken to a documentary of the 70s called Grey Gardens. Now, Grey Gardens is a very interesting reality documentary long before the Kardashians or anything of that ever touched our world. It was by the two, I think they were brothers Maisels. They were what they call cinema verde or direct cinema. So they were definitely the pioneers of the reality documentary. And they weren't a traditional documentary because they didn't have a script, so to speak. They didn't have interviews. They didn't have narratives, narrator, anybody narrating the story. They just basically came to the story and took the camera. They also did a documentary in the 70s called The Salesman, and of course, Give Me Shelter, following the Stones in that very tragic concert and all of that happened when the Hells Angels were somehow involved in the concert and there were some fatalities. So those are the Maisels, and they follow these women, and these women are interesting in their own right, but they are doubly interesting because they are heiresses. They were heiresses. They were actually two ladies. Her mother was named Edith Bouvier Beale. So their last name is Beale, and the younger one is Edith as well, Edith Beale. So these were kin, very close knit kin to Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. At the time that this film was done, she was already an Onassis. So Jackie Kennedy's father and the elder Edith are brother and sister. So this was her aunt. This was Jackie Kennedy's aunt and Jackie Kennedy's cousin. Well, this is a riches to rags story. So it's like I said, a cult following now, not only because of her incredible fashion sense, and you may not think so, not everyone has the same taste, but I find it so mesmerizing, and I found the documentary incredibly mesmerizing. I just found it this week, and many people found it during the pandemic. It was filmed in the 70s. It is called Grey Gardens. There are several follow-ups since then. There's one called The Beales of Grey Gardens. There's been a Broadway play. There's been an HBO movie with Drew Barrymore playing the younger Edith and Jessica Lange playing the elder. So again, these were New York society women. The mother was married to a well-to-do Wall Street attorney. Several things happened. More importantly is the fact that neither one of them wanted to conform to the mores of society. The mother never wanted to be a socialite wife. She, of course, loved the luxury of money and the home in the Hamptons, which is where this story is centered, in the East Hamptons, beautiful 28-room mansion. And the daughter pretty much gave up her life. She also wanted to be a dancer and a singer. She was proposed to by a Getty and by a Kennedy, and never wanted the life of being married to what she called a boring, what did she call them? Boring white men or something like that. She didn't want to have that lifestyle. So they both lived life on their own terms. I know I'm borrowing a lot of cliches when they speak of them, but you must see that movie. You must see the documentary. You must Google it to heck and go to YouTube as well. There's been several, even fashion channels have analyzed her left and right. Again, she was a natural beauty, much she modeled and so forth, but her dad never approved of the modeling. She never really had skills as anything else. These were women of their time, women that were made to be debutantes, that were not made, but their duties were debutantes and debutante balls, and mom married off the daughter to the wealthiest, best looking man or whatever. So they wound up in squalor. They wound up in absolute squalor in a 28-room mansion that is dilapidated, coming apart. They didn't have enough money to run it. The ex-husband just provided so much money, and they made news in the 70s, and that's when Jackie Kennedy got involved, and mostly her sister Lee, Princess Lee Radziwill, I think is the way you pronounce her name. And they renovated the place, but it only lasted so long. And in that picture, in that movie, I saw. I'm mesmerized by this movie, and I am not a movie buff by any stretch of the imagination, but when I love something, I go in deep. And I've watched it probably 2 or 3 times. We watched it over Christmas, watched the movie. I had my sister watch it. She was intrigued. My mother couldn't take her eyes off of it. And again, the way film is, it's an absolute art form, right? So they show a shot of the woman, the elder Edie, sitting in the bed, and mostly they're recluse. They never leave the home. They have their groceries delivered. They rarely leave the home. If anything, the daughter goes to church. She says, she's just so witty. One of the 3 things she says: the most important things to me in life are the Catholic Church, swimming, and singing. So they show the mother sitting in the bed, and you can kind of see the mirror where it says, "If you've got it, give it." And you can see the cameraman come, because they're basically following these 2 women around getting their life story. And the funny thing is, the interesting thing is that the movie was made accidentally. The documentary of 75, Grey Gardens, was made kind of accidentally. They were really supposed to be making a movie about the Kennedy sisters, excuse me, the Bouvier sisters, Jackie and her sister, Lee Radswell. So that's how they got to the Hamptons. They were interviewing all the old families of the Hamptons. The Maisels were. They were being followed around by the Bouvier sisters. And that's when they met the 2 Edies. And they said, wait a minute. This is, well, they didn't say it in my words, but I'm paraphrasing. They said, these 2 women are so delightful, so charming, so intriguing, so mesmerizing. This is our movie. So they basically shelved the Bouvier sisters movie to make this one. And you can see some of that footage in another documentary that was shelved for 40 years and just recently made it back. And that one is called One Summer, or That Summer. And that one will feature Jagger, Warhol, Truman Capote, the intelligentsia, as they say, of New York, are all in this documentary that started out, again, to highlight the childhood of the Bouvier sisters, our First Lady, Jackie Kennedy Onassis, and her sister. And then it turned into, wait a minute, what is going on here? And so that's where I said, I'll show you the picture, and then we'll get into the questions. That summer, they are, yeah, I mean, I've been just obsessed, absolutely obsessed with watching it, because it's like a great tragedy. It's like, again, a Richard Rag story. It's a codependent relationship. It's a mother-daughter relationship. My sister was watching. She's like, oh my gosh, I can relate to so much in that movie. Yet there is such a discrepancy, or a really big difference, of course, in their circumstances, raised in the high societies of New York, to leave it, to choose to live the way they wanted to live. And let me show you the picture where I saw it. So that's kind of like the way it struck me. As I said, movie making is art, right? And you see that and you're thinking to yourself, if you've got it, give it, right? So they kind of, to me, it spoke to, they had it and they gave it up in a way. But she never wanted to give up the house. That was her only refuge. And it wasn't even so much as because of the material, because the house is condemned by the Board of Health. There are like 52 cats running around, raccoons running around, trash. They had to literally abandon rooms in the house as they became decrepit and fell apart. But it spoke to me in that way as to, yeah, it's money, but what did they really, really want out of life? And here it is. And I don't know if you can see it very clearly in the picture that I took, but you can see the sign that says, if you've got to give it. You can see the elder Edith Beale. You can see a little postcard of the Blessed Mother, and you can kind of see the cameraman as well reflected. See, she rarely left her bed. She was not bedridden. They just did everything there because the other rooms were pretty much gone. There was a few, I mean, they did go to the kitchen, and then when the Onassis, when the Bouvier sisters kind of renovated the house for, I think, $500,000, they had plumbing and everything. At a time, they didn't even have plumbing. Yet these heiresses that were hobnobbing with, again, Howard Hughes, the Gettys, all of the old money of New York, and this is where they wind up. And this is what's intriguing to me is that it's real life. And like I said, I'm not a movie buff. I don't sit and gap about the latest movie or the latest Netflix. I rarely get intrigued by anything. But that sign, that little postcard, did you guys get to see it? Let me see what y'all are saying. That summer's the first document. Yes, that summer. Because that summer is when they were following around the sisters, the Bouvier sisters, Jackie Kennedy Onassis and her sister Lee Raswell. And that were going to make her movie. But again, that was shelved for 40 years before it was brought back. A lot of people recommend that you watch the HBO movie with Drew Barrymore first, because when you're watching the documentary, which is Grey Gardens, and then there's a little follow-up called The Beales of Grey Gardens with a little bit more footage. It's just it's almost like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. You can't stop looking. You can't stop thinking. You can't stop thinking how incredibly tragic, yet is there such a thing? What is that? Sweet sorrow? It's like almost a sweet sorrow, because you almost want to laud these women for saying, hey, that's not the life I want. I don't want to be just a socialite wife putting on part. The elder Edith was a singer in her own right. Wonderful singer. I mean, in her time, of course, and in that genre of music, but lovely voice. She sings throughout the movie. The younger one spends the day going into what she calls costumes, and again coming up with these incredible. She'll take like I said, a tablecloth and make it a skirt. I mean, it's just incredible. But I adore it, and that little sign spoke to me to, again, their circumstances, but all of our circumstances, all of us, to give what we have, whatever little it may be, whatever time it may be, to spend with someone who's lonely, someone who wants to talk. I used to have a neighbor, I could tell she was so lonely. And at the time I was home with my children, and I never could turn her away. She'd come and knock on my door to just tell me anything. But I knew that she was home alone all day. Her daughter worked, her son-in-law worked. They were never home. I almost feel she was neglected in a lot of ways. So I would sit out there and just chat with her. She taught me things I didn't know. She taught me how to sew on a machine. And that's the kind of thing that I took away from that movie. And it's incredible how some things you just take that are maybe not even presented, but that is the art of a movie. And even if it's, as they said, verite cinema or direct cinema, they didn't call it truly a documentary, and they certainly didn't call it a reality show, because reality shows are quite scripted, as we know. But yeah, it's totally mesmerizing. And again, I didn't find it by looking at a movie. I found it by always just, looking on Pinterest and looking up different fashion genres, or I'm always I love fashion. So she came up, they talked to her really quickly, or they showed a snippet. Again, she died in 2002, the younger one. The elder one died 3 years after the documentary was released. The documentary is now in the Library of Congress. It's been considered an absolute artifact of our time, historical, just in so many ways, it's been lauded. They're still doing plays about it. They did have a Broadway musical about it. They have a parody. They have a wonderful parody by another thing I discovered. Didn't know it was on till it just came on, with the wonderful people from the Saturday Night Live genres, and they do a parody of it. It's called Parody Now. They do parodies of several documentaries, but they did one on the Beales. That was so funny. Of course, they took license and kind of made it like a haunted house or something. The house today actually does still stand. It is worth several hundred, I think, I don't know, several $100 million or something. It's worth quite a bit of money. She sold it finally under the condition that it never be demolished. So I think they featured it. It's here, of course, on YouTube, but they've also featured it on HGTV and all of that. So it's just a really, really wonderful thing that touched me, and that I can't stop going down that hole, one of the people that's featured in the movie, also the documentary, his name was Jerry. He's just a young kid that also stumbled upon the property. He was kind of a handyman, maintenance guy, uh, landscaper that befriended the women as well. But what comes through also in the squalor, in the filthy mattresses with no sheets that they're lying on and eating on, and they're wearing their family jewels too. I'll show you a picture of her brooch that she wears. I think they did finally sell it, and they did have quite a few $1 million jewels still in the home. But many things were also stolen, unfortunately. They were when they were raided, and many of their very valuable antiques were actually hosed down by the fire department and the health department. And that's when the Bouvier sisters stepped in, lawyered up, and protected them from getting evicted. But yeah, very, very interesting. This is the brooch. This may be the exact one. I don't know because it's been duplicated. Everybody wants it. So the younger Beale wears a brooch to fasten her skirts, to fasten her turban-like scarves and skirts and vests. She puts little waistcoats on her head, and this is one of them. And I believe this is the original, if I'm not mistaken, and it is definitely diamonds and gold, but it's actually available on Etsy because, again, this is a cultish following, a cultish obsession, and people do parties and dress up like the Beales and so forth. But again, that little quip spoke to me. So let's give away some things because I will link all of those documentaries that I can. Most of them can be found on HBO Max. I think you can even rent it here on YouTube. And I believe the Beales of Grey Gardens is free. I believe that one can be found just by searching it. So look all those up. That summer, the Beales of Grey Gardens, the movie on Max with Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore does an amazing, amazing job. If you ever remember, those of us who are of a certain age may remember, and I was a child when she did it, when Jackie Kennedy did the tour of the White House. I was probably 5 or 6, but when they run it, like on the anniversaries and everything, they always play it because she had the most soft-spoken, beautiful, upper-class voice. And this lady, Edith, the younger one, and the elder, have that same kind of breathy voice that's just so beautiful, and it's just mesmerizing. And they have the exact same voice, the mannerisms, the mannerisms, the manners, the gestures of their class and time exudes the movie. It permeates the movie in the squalor, in the absolute filth. You still see that. It's so incredible. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So here we go with some trivia. You also follow, and you can't, I have no idea what that means. But Zoe, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Jill, yeah, we're talking about aristocrats right now. These were true aristocrats. Absolutely fantastic. And do be sure and follow that. And they did show them eating a lot of pate and ice cream. That was like their favorite thing to eat, and corn on the cob. So, oh my God, so many beautiful posters and things of that nature that are done right now with the images of these women. I think they have a website as well called greygardens.com. You can get all the books they have. The funny thing is, too, they always had film. The women themselves had film and cameras. So a lot of their life is documented in several books. Jerry, which was one of the young men that is shown in the movie, also has a book out, has done several videos. So do check those out. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jenny. That's such a sweet thing to say. You met Jackie Kennedy. She owned a property in my neighborhood, and she and Johnny used to fox hunt on the property my husband and I lived on. He was a farm manager. We bred thoroughbreds. Oh, how wonderful. How exciting that must have been. That comes through too in that summer, especially. They're just the way they handle themselves is so incredible. Even when they're talking to the people at the health department, and the health department is of course very hostile towards the ladies in their home, and Lee just handles it like silk. It's just incredible. We can take so many lessons from that. I really did like that. The brooch. Um, yeah, let me see what else y'all are saying so we can move on. Dreamer played the movie on Grey Garden. Yes, she did. Hey, Doug, how are you? She did. She was so good at it. The voice was perfect. Absolutely so good at it. All right. All right. So let's do a couple of giveaways. Let's do a simple one. This will probably generate a couple of comments. I'm just going to pick a number from 1 to 100. Please only put it once. Do not put a number more than once. That anyone who gets closest to it will get a crafter jewelry bag, huge bag. It's going to weigh probably 3 pounds. It's going to have all kinds of things in there to play with. If you're a crafter, please join the contest. Put a number between 1 and 100, and hopefully you'll get the one I write down on my pad right here. All right, let me write it down before you start doing it. I'm going to start looking for it. Let me do it here. 1 to 100, closest one. Vanessa, Lynn, thank you all who are joining the chat and the contest. And it looks like we have 29, 28, 32, 79, 77, 33, 67, 45. Again, just one number only. Valerie, I think you've put like 4. Pick one and stick to it. Hi, Linda. Thanks for being here. We'll have another contest anyway. We're going to give away about 3 of them, okay? And then we're going to give away a true jewelry jar with a whole lot of jewelry in it as well. Boy, I wrote this on the cover. $21, $97, $98, $98 twice. All right, I think the closest one without going over, any other guesses? 1 to 100, one number only, please. If you have more than one number, would you remove the others and just leave one? And this is for a crafter bag of jewelry. So if you like fixing jewelry, you like recreating it again, then please enter. My mother did see JFK. Unfortunately, he was in San Antonio before he was in Dallas, and she did go see him in San Antonio in parade through downtown San Antonio. So she was very enthralled, as most Americans were at that time, of JFK before he was assassinated. Oh, that's okay, Valerie. I'm glad you're here. Okay, you're sticking with 28. My number that I wrote down, and help me with this, it's going to be the closest without going over, and that number was 61. 61. All right, and that's going to be for a craft jar. And if you win, please email me at thelmahordes@gmail.com. It's always in the description box. You'll find it there. Just email me to let me know your address. All right, and I'll get it out sometime this week. And that was number 61. I think Doug had 59. That might be the closest. let me know and let's congratulate our winner if I'm correct in that. Okay. I think that's the one. Exhale. Lori, were you talking to me about exhaling? I was trying to get everything out that I wanted to convey about this this documentary movie thing. I want to see that there is another play. There's actually a new play out. I think it's in New York though. I don't think it's anywhere but New York. And because one of them was a musical. And I think there's a new play out. All right. Yeah, my number was 61. That was the winner, number 61. If you're enjoying the video so far, if you enjoyed my rant and rave, mostly rave, give it a thumbs up. Give the video a thumbs up if you would. If you haven't subscribed today, please do. Yeah, she took them out, and I think Doug got it anyway at 59, right? Doug got it anyway at 59. Okay. Now, I mentioned 3 people, famous people, not the Bouviers, but what they call the intelligentsia of New York that is in that summer. I'm going to write one of them down, and if you guess that one, you win as well. Again, I spoke of it right now. I mentioned what they call the beautiful people or the intelligentsia of New York City that were featured in that. First one in with that answer, and you win as well. And then we'll do one more because it's already going. Well, I think I started a little bit late. But if you have any questions or anything else, please feel free. You're welcome, Doug. No. These were what they call the intelligentsia of New York City. Those would be your artists, your musicians, giving you hints, that kind of thing. And I did mention 3 of them that were in there. So the one that I wrote down, first one to write it down. All right. We got Jagger and Capote. Yes, exhale for the quote. Exhale for the quote. Yeah, the quote was, if you've got it, give it. If you've got it, give it. There we go. Truman Capote was one. And you're just watching. Okay. Well, it looks like no one got the one I wrote down. I'll give you, there we go. Jewelry Jam got it. Jewelry Jam got the answer. All of them were correct, but Warhol was the one I wrote. He's also featured in that summer documentary where it follows the Bouvier sisters making their documentary that never came to fruition until 40 years later because the Maisels, the 2 documentary filmmakers, were mesmerized and taken aback and decided to do it on the Beales and Grey Gardens instead. But then all of this footage was released in this other one called That Summer. So yes, Jewelry Jam, please email me at thelmahordes@gmail.com. I think that's the first one that came out with Warhol. And I'll send you a craft jewelry jar for absolutely free. Jewelry jar, jewelry bag. It's going to be like a big $8.80. I think I can put like 3 or 4 pounds in there. You're going to love it. There's a lot of good jewelry that I just don't want to list, jewelry that might be broken, jewelry that will have missing rhinestones, jewelry that needs to go to another state or at least another city. All right. Now, wonderful. You guys are just going right through these. I'm really happy that we're able to give away some of these. All right. Now, I need both names of the actresses in the movie that did the movie in, what was it, 20, I don't know, about 5 years ago. Who were the 2 actresses that played the Beales? Give me both their names. First one in the chat can also get another craft jewelry jar full of rhinestones, full of everything you want to have fun with. Okay. First one in the chat with that one. This is so fun. This is so fun. I'm so glad that I found a way to communicate to you my, I don't know, not that you care, but you know, that's why we're here to chit chat. To communicate to you things that I find interesting. I sat down my daughter wanted me to sit down and watch a movie with her. And I forgot the name of it, but it won an award or something. But it's one of these movies that, well, I don't know. It's like you have to be, it's like it takes you to another world, like, I guess, multi-level, what do they call it? Second, third dimension worlds. I just can't get into those kind of movies. I totally fall asleep inside by movies. I just cannot handle them. She got upset with me because she said it had a beautiful moral. She really wanted me to see it. She thought I would get something, and maybe I will see it again, but it's just not me. And I prefer nonfiction reading, actually. And I guess I prefer more movies that are like real stories or real people or even based on real people, because I think they take a little bit of liberty in the movie that stars these 2 women, because in the movie they show Jackie Kennedy coming to the compound, and I think she did come to the home, to Grey Gardens, but they show Edith kind of stroking her hair, because you know how Jackie had that beautiful black hair. And Edith didn't have it here. She had it behind those beautiful Hermes scarves. You could tell some of those were Hermes. And they showed that it was actually Lee when they showed it in that summer doing that exact same thing. So it was just wonderful to see how they took all these elements of the reality, put into the movie, but yet taking a little bit of license. Okay, let's go. We need both of them together. Both of them together. Oh, that's a tough one. It looks like it's a tough one because I don't see anybody with it right now. I think, did we get anybody before Kavanaugh? Kathleen Kavanaugh says Jessica Lange and Drew Barrymore. You were also, Lynn? I just couldn't stop, Lynn. And my daughters are like, are you still watching that? Oh, yes, because and people have said that they've seen it like over and over again, because you see different things, you think different ways about it, you feel sad, then you feel like it's a triumph, then you feel like it's not, then you feel like she was manipulated, then you feel like they were both insane, but then you feel like, no, they're not. They're just women before their time. I don't know. So it's so thought-provoking. I loved it. Okay. And I believe, yes, and some people have recommended that you watch the movie first, but understand that sometimes the movie can take a little bit of license. Like I think when they inserted Jackie visiting the home, I think it was actually when they show it in that summer, it was actually her sister Lee. But either way, I mean, just watch all of it. You have to watch all of it. And then there's a Facebook group. Look at the Facebook groups, websites, unbelievable stuff. It was both names. Okay, so I believe that's what Kathleen Kavanaugh. She says Jessica Lange and Drew Barrymore, and that is correct because it was not Jessica Biel. Drew Barrymore, Jessica, but no. Okay, so then I believe that's our clear winner. Congratulations to Kavanaugh. would you please email me at thelmahorts@gmail.com so I can give you a big, beautiful crafter jewelry lot for absolutely free, no charge. As you know, I like to do these giveaways in my lives or other. I used to do a lot, mostly lives, but now since I only do a few lives, like on Sunday, that's where I'm kind of trying to do some giveaways of any sorts. I don't know, whatever. But I don't announce them. You won't see. You might see a little hint, a little stealthy type of title or something, but I'll never put giveaway, or earn $5 if you give me a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up because it's the right thing to do. Because you enjoy the content. Come back and see the videos because you enjoy the content. Don't want to buy your thumbs up. I just want to give what I have an abundance of. And I think that's the right thing to do. And again, like I said, that's kind of what I took away from that movie. They had such abundance, such wealth. And I don't even know what I keep studying the card too, because I'm trying to see, does it say the Red Cross? Does it say all these answers people gave? But it doesn't seem to. But again, that's the art of movie making, right? We all see what we want to see, right? The storytelling, I love it. But not all movies. I don't do sci-fi. But then I know there's stories in sci-fi. There's of course all the sagas that everyone loves. I'm not putting anything down, but I cannot do the third dimension. I can't go there. I'm sorry. Oh, that's so sweet. Yay, Kathleen. 24 is your year. Absolutely right. Don't worry about it, Miss Becky. Is the video still okay though? All right, so I'll be waiting for those two emails. I don't think I have your address, Doug, but do email me with your address if you want that crafter lot. Let's do one more so I can do something productive with my evening and move on. I think I ranted enough, bored enough people. I'm sure people hate chatting videos. Some people hate them, but I did look at my statistics the other day. What do they call analytics? And I actually have, I think, about 30 or 40% of people who only watch the lives. So welcome. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy the lives. This is under a podcast section of YouTube. I'm hoping to do more of those just talking videos where you really don't even have to look at me. You can just listen. So I'm glad that some of you do enjoy it. And this is where we're going to do the giveaways anyway. Good, good. The words are small. Oh my goodness. It's actually very small. You're right. I'm looking at it through the StreamYard chat and they're a little bit bigger. But you're right about the YouTube ones. And I got these crazy glasses recently. Do you guys like them? I accidentally ordered bifocals instead of progressives. And I was telling my daughter, oh, I don't know if I like them. I may return them. But I love the color. But they do serve a really good purpose because when I'm reading, they're fantastic. They're perfect. And then just, distance and close up. Nothing in between this. So I kind of have to do this, but I did that with the other glasses too, though. I would have to go like that. And even right now I have it a little bit elevated, but at work I always had to adjust my head. Oh, is it Linda? Well, thank you for being here. Thank you all who were here. I really do appreciate it. Let's give away a jewelry jar, a standard jewelry jar. Anybody else still want crafts? Because we can do one more crafts if there's somebody who really wants a craft lot. Sometimes you can't watch it live, which is come back when it's not live. You can comment in the comment section. Let me know if you've watched Grey Gardens. Let me know if you were sickened by it. Let me know if you were mesmerized by it. Let me know if you watched it more than once. Let me know what you thought. People have all kinds of ideas about it. Oh, they were both clearly sick. They were not sick. They were not, mentally ill, and just so much to ponder in that documentary. Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much, Julie. You're so kind. So yeah, we can do another crafter, and then we can finally do the jewelry jar, like real sellable, wonderful jewelry. I'm telling you. That's what little Edie always says. I'm telling you, but I'm telling you. You got to go see it, Pamela. Start with the movie. Some people say start with the movie, and then watch Grey Gardens, and then watch the Beales of Grey Gardens, and then watch the parodies, and then watch That Summer. That Summer is really good because it pieces it together. That's where it tells you that the original Maisels were intending to film the childhood stories of the sisters, the Bouvier sisters, Jackie and her sister Lee. And they even interview a guy who was talking about their dad, the one they call Black Jack, who was a handsome movie star looking guy, and tells her, oh, your dad had women over here every weekend. It was a different woman. It's just so crazy to see that. And that was filmed in the 70s as well. Because as I said, they started with that, then they switched the camera over there to the two Edie's and it stayed there. So absolutely. You make Christmas trees out of jewelry. Fabulous, Linda. Fabulous. I've seen wonderful work. Tanya over at My Jewelry Addiction, I think it is. She makes incredible things with those brooches and things as well. Many people do so many pretty things. I was talking last night, about how I made a lampshade. I fashioned this long floor lamp that used to have rice paper, those Asian looking ones that were all over World Market a few years ago. Well, that rice paper started to tear, so I fashioned a little halo about it and just hooked on all these wonderful beaded, faceted beads, and it just looked so pretty in my bedroom. Yeah, it was really nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So yeah, I kept these and then I returned the other ones because I don't know, I just don't really like the lines, but I think even the little lines are very vague. They make them really nice. Or maybe it's because my prescription is not that strong yet on the close-up ones that you really can't see them like you can see some. Okay, what was I talking about? I'm going to do another one. I think we'll just go ahead and do the regular jewelry jar. We'll give that one away. And then we'll save some more crafter jars. I'll try to pile those up though, because I didn't see anybody else who wants another one. And of course, if anybody wants to buy one, let me know after today's show. If you weren't here, no more freebies till I do it again, till I fill up that tub again. But I also have done where I fill up a huge box and I just charge you the eBay fee and the shipping fee. So that's a deal too. A lot of teachers have ordered those for me. People who work in nursing homes, they actually use them to, I actually accidentally sold her a jewelry jar with good jewelry. She said, oh my gosh, you sent me all this beautiful jewelry, but I really wanted crafter jewelry for my elderly ladies and patients who love to craft with them. So that was interesting. But yeah, many uses for those crafting boxes for sure. Kay Aldridge and Jackie, actually not eccentric now, Malcolm Forbes. He was eccentric. He used to fly. Yes, yes. And the Bouvier sisters were not the eccentric ones. No, it was their aunt and cousin, Edith Beale. They were both named Edith. One was Edith. What was her middle name? Beale? Edith Bouvier Beale. And then the other Edith never married. She dedicated her life to her mother. Her whims, everything. I mean, this is where you have to go and analyze it yourself. Take from it what you will. Many people see it differently. And her name was Edith Beale as well, never married. Oh, absolutely. No. I just feel like, again, got it, give it. If you've got it, give it. And if I can afford to give it, I will, because I'm drowning in it. I had a really good, successful hoarder sale today on Whatnot. Please follow me on Whatnot because I'm going to be doing more of those sales. Sold yarn, sold comic books, old magazines. I sold a National Geographic that's probably selling for $50 on eBay. I have seen it sell for a lot, but I got some money for them. I cleared out my closet. I've had things fall on my head, guys. That's how crowded my stuff is right now, where I'm like, I know they're going to find me under the table, hit by a jar of jewelry. All right, so let's do the jewelry jar. One more question. Let me see, what will it be? What will it be? What will it be? I know I have said this many times before. Other than a teacher, what occupation have I held? I will write several of them down, and the closest one to any of the answers I have that comes in first will get a full-fledged bag of jewelry, wearable, sellable, funnable jewelry. Okay, so let me write them down while you write them down and hear your guesses. Those of you who've been following me a long time may know that I was not always a teacher. I came to teaching only 12 years ago, going on 12 years ago. No, hasn't been that long. It is definitely my second job. I've had some very interesting jobs, and I pretty much enjoyed all of them. I really did, even though some of them were labor intensive. So put your guesses in. This is for the jewelry jar in a bag, like an 880 bag full of real jewelry to have fun with, not crafted, but real costume, fun stuff, bangles, brooches, earrings. Yeah. What else? Gosh, I've had a lot of jobs. I really have. I can't even spell anymore. It's late. Again, I feel very off kilter right now. This weekend thing was crazy because we went back to work on Friday. I felt so weird. I hate when they do that to us. But in a way, it was good because we didn't have to stay the whole week and then we could come back fresh on Monday. Okay. I know I'm leaving some out, believe it or not. I really think I'm leaving some of these out. All right. I have stockbroker assistant. Have everybody finished? Stockbroker, well, not assistant, but basically office manager. I was stockbroker. And retail clerk. No, I've never worked in a nursing home, never been a horse trainer. I actually was very scared of horses. My dad actually owned race horses, and my grandparents lived on a ranch with horses and cows, and they ran a full-fledged ranch, and never did I train them. Hi, Gigi. So no carpenter. Very close though. I had down stockbroker, sales, retail, construction, and autism therapist. Those are my three guesses. I think I see Lynn in first. Becky, can you help me? At retail. So definitely I was selling clothes, selling shoes, selling jewelry. At Macy's. Where else did I work? I worked at J. Harris, Macy's. Oh my gosh, so many different stores. Some of them have changed names. Joskies of Texas. So I believe that is our winner. Vanessa said construction in the beginning. Yeah, okay. Do we have Vanessa with construction in the beginning? I was in construction. I was actually a painter's helper. I worked for Brown and Root. As a painter's helper. Then, we used to have periodic layoffs because in Texas, we build a lot of refineries, oil refineries. So when they would finish building outside, pretty much you would get laid off. So I got laid off when I finished with the painters, and the boss called me and said, I want you to be my timekeeper, come work inside. And I was like, oh man, this is nice. Yeah, that was very nice. Very nice and cool, no hot sun. So if it was someone else first with construction, those were the options: stockbroker, sales, retail, construction, and autism therapist before I became a certified Texas teacher. What do you think, Miss Becky? Vanessa? Okay, Miss Vanessa, you got yourself a bag full of jewelry to have fun with, to sell, to wear, to share. Please, again, thelmahordes@gmail.com. All that information will be in the description box. all my information if you ever want to buy anything from a haul. I do not have sales here, but I do have a Facebook private auction. Now, this does not mean that you are not welcome. You are more than welcome. It is free, but it is private, so you just need to tell me that you will not spam and not do anything that is out of the ordinary in my page. And I hold the auction every Saturday. I'm on Wednesdays at Whatnot. I want to start doing a Sunday morning on Whatnot to do the hoarder, what did I call it today? Hoarder sells all, to do that sale. So if you're interested in crafting, ephemeral, any of that, I'm going to try to be doing that on Sunday mornings. So thank you and congratulations to everyone. I hope that I didn't disappoint anybody who thought that or may have even read that quote from somewhere else. If you've got it, give it. But that's where I read it. That's where it struck me. That's where I'm stuck on this wonderful movie, this wonderful documentary, these delightful personalities that exude class and charm, even in their squalor and filth. And that's not easy to do. So I thank you for your time tonight. Please come back and see another video soon, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye. Congratulations to all my winners. Bye-bye.